Okay, now I ask Mohanty-san to start the session, please.
Thank you, Yokota-san. Your Excellencies, distinguished mayors, delegates, participants, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the session 3 on circular solutions, resource efficiency, and sustainable waste management towards cleaner cities. In the beginning, before we start the session, let me raise 4 underpinning questions in the beginning itself. Without supply security of resources, critical mineral resources, can we achieve any conceivable form of SDGs? And without circular economy solutions, can we achieve cleaner cities? And without frontier technologies, artificial intelligence and all these technologies that will be presented later on, can you achieve the circular economy? And the last one is very, I would say very interesting. Does cities have future without biodiversity? So why I am raising this question on biodiversity in a session of waste management? In a world of mounting pressures from rapid urbanizations, material scarcity, many countries have become net importer of the raw materials, mineral resources. And after all, the triple planetary crisis, climate change, loss of nature and biodiversity, and growing waste and pollution, cities stand at the forefront of both the challenges and also the solutions. Urban centers, for instance, generate more than 70% of the global waste, and also they consume the majority of the natural resources. But the cities also possess the innovation, leadership, and citizen engagement to drive the transformation changes. So in this circular economy session, we are not just thinking about conventional waste management. After the waste is generated, we think of how we manage it. It's not that. Even though there is no universal definition on circular economy, the universal understanding is that it is a system designed to prevent waste at the first hand, recapture waste as a resources, and regenerate and restore natural resources, nature, and ecosystem. In the last March, in Jaipur city of India, the UNCRD convened annually a high-level regional 3R and circular economy forum in Asia Pacific. The participating countries, they agreed a declaration, Jaipur Declaration, 2025 to 2035 is a decadal declaration in the context of advancing circularity in Asia Pacific level. How to achieve clean, smart, resilient, and sustainable society. So this is actually a declaration by the central government authorities. But also, this has a very close nexus with today's section, how we can actually translate some of these objectives at the context of city-level actions. And the Jaipur Declaration has also made recommendations to establish a Cities Coalition for Circularity, C3. I think we will be, in course of time, we will be increasingly discussing with you how we can actually build the C3 in the context of advancing the circularity at local and city level. With this small background, so let us get into our session. We have 5 presentations, a little bit challenged, that is why you see it will be probably the largest panel, and we need to do a little bit arrangement on the stage. So without making any delay, I would like to invite our first presentation by Honorable Mayor of Kigali, Mr. Samuel Dusengiyumva. He will talk about Kigali's path to zero waste and circular future. Honorable Mayor, the floor is yours.
Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure for me to be here in Japan to attend this very important session. As you know, Kigali is the cleanest city of Africa. That is by all standards defined, and it has been confirmed. And we are here to share the experience of Kigali. Now, when you talk about city, you talk about congestion. Congestion means bringing people together, and that means that there are a lot of waste that is going to happen in the process. Next. So our experience is going to speak about the circular economy. Okay, I think we have issues with this remote control. It's not working at all. Okay, sorry. So I think by all means you might have seen this picture in the last UCI championship, where Kigali was proud enough to host the first of its kind in Africa cycling competition. So when we say that Kigali is the cleanest city of Africa, what does it mean? It means that the government partners have gone together with the people to make sure that our city can be what we want it to be. This means that we have systems that speak to what the people want to do, systems that can help us to facilitate a collection at household level, that facilitate us to get together as companies operating in the waste collection and management, and we have a platform, an infrastructure that help us to treat our waste from the solid waste to various products, including fertilizers and recycled materials. So we have documents. We have what we call the National Action Plan for Circular Economy, and this has been helping us to really mobilize the communities to get together, but also to make sure that we can enforce compliance. When you look at the number of activities that we are undertaking, for example, if you look at West sector, we have a population of almost 2 million. In fact, we are close to 3 million now, as well as a couple of cities that are almost the size of our city. But as you can see, we started from 200 tons per day in the last 10 years. Now we are at around 500 tons of collected waste every day. But the good news is most of this waste can be reused because most of it is organic. So this gives us an incentive to make sure that we can collect it, transport it, manage it, and maybe make fertilizers out of it. So we use community-based approach. We have a system that we call social registry. This provides us with information about household, the number of members, the level of economic livelihood, and then this can help us to predict the amount of waste that this household can produce, and then it can give information to companies that are hired at sector level to be able to collect this waste, and it can also help us to establish incentives for the sorting as it happens. Then we transport the waste to the landfill where it is sorted efficiently before it is recycled and transformed into various products. We have one landfill that we call dumping site, but we also do processing and transformation of waste there, including sorting, but also transforming our waste into an economic product which can give value. We use technology in this area. There's mechanical technology, but also the tracking, including the payment model, because every truck that comes to the landfill has to pay and it has to be weighed. All this is being done seamlessly using sensors and using the system that helps us to collect information about the amount of waste collected from different places, but also make sure that we can give an incentive in terms of reward to the people who are really helping us to collect, sort, but also transform this waste. You need to give value to the waste, because I think if you have a waste of 500 tons and 78% of it is fertilizers, in fact, it can actually recreate a whole value chain, because from the waste that you have, you can produce material that can help you grow your agricultural productions. So we are looking at how we can make sure that we incentivize our household to sort the waste from the household so that we can get value returned. We are thinking of maybe subsidizing some of the activities for households that do that. We are also established some sorting facilities where if you put, for example, a plastic can, you get money out of it to your mobile money account or other platform for payment. So we are really looking at how we can create value out of waste, which actually translates into what you're saying, that is actually circular economy can help grow cities. I need to move forward. This is the map of the landfill, but we can also talk about the smart way of doing these waste collections. This machine that you see is installed in a number of areas, including in our car-free zone, where if you have a plastic bottle, for example, you just deposit here, then you can be paid money. It helps us reduce the amount of money that we put into collection of all this waste across the city, giving us the best clean city that you have all known in the last few years. This helps us also to create jobs, because making sure that we have clean cities can actually be a job opportunity for our young people. So what we have done, we have actually privatized this sector, where we're working with the youth cooperatives to make sure that they can be the one to take care of our greening and our cleanest in the city. Like I said, agriculture is one of the sectors that benefit from this kind of economy, construction as well, because some of the plastic materials are used to make pavers. And when we look at sector of water and sanitation, especially transport, we see that there's a lot of return when we do this. I just want 2 slides. Like I was saying, inclusion is very important. You can't talk about cleanness, you can't talk about sustainable cities without talking about vulnerable categories, including young people who are, in most cases, unemployed in our societies, women, old people. All these people that really can benefit, they are included in our journey to transform our circular economy. Circularity is also included in our curriculum to make sure that the future generation understand what we talk about. What we want to conclude is that cleanness is possible. Clean cities are something we can achieve, but it has to start with the people. The people have to own it. In our own case in Kigali, sometimes when a president is moving around, he's told to just pick a plastic bottle, put it where it belongs. And this translates into a tradition, because changing the culture takes a lot of efforts. Leadership is critical, but it is possible. So I think together with this forum, we can aspire to cleaner, sustainable, and strong cities. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Is this working, this microphone? Okay. Thank you so much, Honorable Mayor. I think very impressive initiatives by Kigali. The circular economy framework linking to the very key sectors, water, agriculture, construction, transport, waste valorization, green jobs, and very interestingly, the youth-led recycling and cooperative composting, and you are trying to also gradually reducing the landfill, the requirement. With this, I would now like to request our second presentation by Honorable Mayor of Kuching South City, Honorable Mayor Hong Seng. So he will be speaking about the promoting circular economy towards zero waste and resilient society. Honorable Mayor, you have 8 minutes.
Distinguished mayors, governors, esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon and warm greetings from Kuching, South City, Malaysia. It's a great honor to stand here before you to share our city journey in promoting a circular economy, a journey that is helping us move steadily towards a zero waste and resilient society. Our story is one of the transformation of how a growing city can turn challenges into opportunities through community action, innovation, and strong partnership. The global and local challenges across the world, cities are facing undeniable challenge, the growing mountain of waste, and every year, billions of tons of solid waste are produced globally, placing enormous pressure on our environment, our health, and our future. Kuching South is no exception. Like many cities, we struggle with clogged drains, polluted rivers, and in the rising cost of waste management. But we choose not to see this as a burden. We choose to see it as a chance how we think about waste altogether. A vision from the waste to wealth. Under the Sarawak Sustainable Blueprint for 2030, our state have embraced a broad vision that is to shift from a throwaway economy to a circular economy. This means moving away from the old take, make, and dispose model, and instead creating a system for where materials are reused, repaired, recycled for as long as possible. It is not just about managing rubbish, it is about changing our mindset, using resources wisely, and ensuring that economic growth goes hand in hand with our environmental care. Our shared goals are clear and measurable. We reduce the municipal waste going to the landfill by 5% or less by 2035. Increase the plastic recycling by 20% within the next 5 years, and eliminate single-use plastic in all local authorities by 2030, and recover 90% of valuable materials from electronic waste by 2040. These are not our distant dreams. These are commitments that guide our daily works in our Kuching South, turning vision into action, our Kuching South approach. Now, at the Kuching City South Council, we're translating these state-level goals into practical, people-centered action, and let me share some key areas where we're making meaningful progress. One is the reducing waste at the source. We focus on prevention, encouraging residents and businesses to minimize waste before it starts. Through awareness campaign, green market initiative, and regulation on event management, we promote the use of refillable containers and sustainable packaging. B, on our spending, recycling, and composting, we are expanding recycling facilities and collecting points while integrating waste separation programs in school and neighborhoods. When young people learn to recycle at school, they influence their families, and over time, this builds a culture of responsibility. C, on turning the waste into clean energy. Sarawak is investing in the waste-to-energy plants that will serve the major cities, including Kuching. These facilities will convert household waste into electricity, reducing our reliance on landfills and cutting the greenhouse gas emission. This innovation transforms waste from a problem into available resources. D, in converting our agriculture byproducts into our green energy. Our regional is rich in our agricultural resources. Instead of burning or discarding our residues, such as paddy husk and palm fibers, we now convert them into biomass energy, animal feed, and biofuels. This not only supports our local farmers, but also strengthening our circular economy by giving new life to our own materials. E, on empowering our communities and businesses. A successful circular economy depends on people. Through our iBuyback mobile application, citizens can exchange recyclable for rewards. We also cooperate with school, NGO, and local entrepreneurs to promote recycling, repair, and reuse. This partnership empowers our community to become active participants in building a cleaner, a greener city. The economic value of our circular thinking. This economy is not just an environmental mission. It's an economic opportunity by keeping material in use for longer, and we reduce cost, create new jobs, and stimulate innovation. New businesses are emerging from recycling setup and composting venture to digital solution for waste collection and logistics. In Kuching South, the circular economy is driving local entrepreneurship while building environmental awareness and civic pride. Cooperative and innovation. Our progress in Kuching is driven by cooperation and innovation, the twin pillars of our sustainability journey. We work closely with our state agency, private partners, universities, and community groups to deliver our practical, people-centered solution. Each contribution, unique strength from policy and technical expertise to research and community engagement, achieving far more together than alone. At the same time, we leverage on our technology and data to enhance efficiency. Digital dashboard now track waste collection, recycling, and service coverage in real time. It also makes faster decisions, our route omission, and better value to every ringgit that we spend. In essence, cooperation gives us strength. Innovation gives us speed together. There are transformations on our Kuching waste management from disposal to renewal. This effort aligns with our Sarawak Smart City and Low Carbon City Master Plan, ensuring that our city development supports both digital advancement and environmental protection. Circular economy is about much more than the waste management. It is about protecting our public health, improving the quality of life, and making our city more resilient. Cleaner drains means fewer floods. Proper e-waste management means less pollution. And a community that cares for environment is a community that thrives. So lesson learned from our journey, from our experience, we have learned 3 important lessons here. Education is the key. Awareness creates change. When people understand what it matters, they act. Partnership matters. No city can succeed alone. Cooperation across all levels is important. Every single effort counts. From sorting household waste to community cleanup, small action multiply into a big result. These reasons continue to guide us as we move forward. So looking ahead, as we plan for years ahead, our focus is on sustainability momentum, strengthening our waste infrastructure, expanding education program, and encouraging innovation that makes sustainability easier for everyone. We believe that by embedding circular principle into our daily life, Kuching South will not only achieve zero waste, but also become a model for resilience and inclusivity. Ladies and gentlemen, promoting a circular economy is not only about managing waste. It is about building wisdom, responsibility, and resilience. In Kuching South, we have learned that when government, industry, and citizens work together, the outcome is a city that is cleaner, healthier, and more hopeful. We're determined to continue this journey, turning waste into wealth and challenges into opportunity for the benefit of our people for the generation to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Your last remark actually very remarkable, very significant. You know, circular economy, not just waste management, it is about responsibility, resilience, and the clean cities. And very remarkable achievements also that you are trying to eliminate the single-use plastics by 2030, and also your efforts in promoting the biocircular economy, taking into account the agriculture and the biomass sector. Thank you so much, Honorable Mayor. So let us now listen from the national government perspective, a presentation by the Ministry of the Environment of the Government of Japan. Very impressive presentation I was going through, Society 5.0, and what it means in the context of the circular economy. The floor is yours, Mr. Sho Nakamura, the Director of Promotion of Circular Society of the Ministry of the Environment, Japan.
Good morning, good afternoon, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Mr. Mohanty, for the kind introduction. And it's a great honor for me to be here at this forum and at this session as a panelist and to speak alongside such a distinguished guest and panelist. My name is Nakamura. I also deeply thank the organizers, UN DESA and UN Habitat, and also host city, which is Toyota City in Aichi Prefecture. My name is Nakamura, as kindly introduced, from the Ministry of the Environment, Japan. Today, in line with our session theme, I would like to introduce briefly about Japan's policies and recent initiatives for circular economy. And also, as you know, I would like to explain some of the implications in the context of Society 5.0. As cities worldwide face the challenges of decoupling economic growth from the resource use, I hope our experience can offer some of the practical insight for the mayors and city leaders gathered here. And as Mr. Mohanty already explained earlier, so I won't repeat it, but I myself too emphasize the importance of Asia-Pacific 3R Circular Economy Promotion Forum and Jaipur Declaration, and it mentions about the significance of coalition for the circular economy at the city and local levels. And MOEJ, Ministry of the Environment Japan, shares such recognition, and I hope this session will also provide an opportunity to share the importance of the circular economy for the resilient future of the cities. So to begin, let me introduce the enabling policy framework that forms the backbone of our efforts. Japan has built a comprehensive system of laws to promote 3R, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle, and to move beyond the traditional, like take and make and just dispose type of models. The foundation is about the basic act for establishing a sound material cycle society. It's kind of like a circular society, which is supported by various individual recycling laws and waste control law. In this presentation, I just would like to briefly introduce two of these key legislation, which is the Basic Act and the Advancement Act of the circular businesses recently entered into force partly. So, this is kind of like an overview of the Basic Act, which provides a vision for our circular society. A key feature is legally minded priority of waste measures, first reduction, and then reuse, and then recycling. And this act also mandates the national government, which is us, to formulate a fundamental plan to promote these policies and clarify the role of all stakeholders, including local governments, to enable a collaboration across society in Japan. And this, to further accelerate our efforts to achieve circular economy, a new law was just enacted last year called the Act on Promotion of Advanced Recycling Business for Resource Circulation. This law aims to promote more advanced, high-quality recycling business that contribute also to decarbonization. And the Minister of the Environment can now certify advanced businesses, providing them with incentive to scale up innovative solutions and create a stable supply of recycled materials. So let's move to the explanation of the fundamental plan. As stipulated by the Basic Act, our national fundamental plan has evolved over time to meet the challenges needs of society. In the early stages, but which is still also very much important thing, the primary goal was to reduce the final disposal volume of waste because of the lack of landfill site. As you know, Japan is not so much big countries and not so many spaces. But the current fifth plan, our latest national strategy now focuses on not only for the reducing the final disposal volume, but also focuses on much broader objective, which is the transition to a circular economy through resource circulation. And this is a basic outline of the National Fundamental Plan, which was just decided by Cabinet last year. The key aspect is that it positions the transition to circular economy as a national strategy. And this means we are aiming to solve not only environmental issues, but also to address economic and social challenges simultaneously. This includes strengthening industrial competitiveness and also, very importantly for these audiences, like promoting regional revitalization are also explained as a key insight. So this slide just illustrates the fundamental shift we are making, in line with our fundamental plan. We are moving away from the linear economy towards a circular economy, and by creating positive cycle of resource circulation and growth, this new economic model is our core strategy for promoting decarbonization, strengthening industrial competitiveness, and ensuring economic security too. So, thanks to the fundamental plan and our legal system and very great effort by local governments in Japan, our policies are delivering concrete results. This chart generally shows the material flow. The left-hand side is the material flow of 2000, and the right-hand side is that of the fiscal year 2021. As you can see, our total material input has significantly decreased, and more importantly, the final disposal amount, what goes into landfills, has been reduced from 56 million tons to just 12 million tons. It's like almost 80% decrease. So, and also it's lessening the environmental impact of our cities too. We, in the fifth plan, we set various goals for 2030, including resource productivity, low material consumption per capita, or of course final disposal volume, and also market size of business related to circular society too. And we are trying to achieve the goal and checking the indicators for each, toward each goals. And the plan is structured around 5 key pillars, while pillar 3, which is this one, build diverse regional circulation system is crucial for city level action. I also wanted to highlight pillar 4. This is highly relevant as it involves creating a robust system that can withstand future shocks. Since already our distinguished mayors has explained the city's initiative enough, so I would just skip this, but we just also have excellent initiatives in Japan. This is one example. The first left one is in Toyama Prefecture. A private company uses the heat and electricity from its waste incineration facility to power large-scale greenhouses where they grow high-quality tomatoes. And also they succeeded to recycle plastics with very high-level techniques to emit the to create more pure recyclable resources, plastics, which can use for many horizontal recycling. And also this is one of the other examples, comes from Kamishiro in Hokkaido. They are using livestock manure to create biogas, which generate electricity for households and buildings throughout the town, and this is not only contribute to climate action, but also build resilience against supply chain disruption by strengthening the town's energy security. Even during emergencies, the town hall has a stable power supply, basically. So also our government commitment is really driven from the highest level. In last year, a new ministerial council on circular economy was established, chaired by the chief cabinet secretary, and our prime minister attended. And this ensures that our transition is carried out as unified national strategy, breaking down silos between ministries. And this council approved a policy package for accelerating the transition to a circular economy to realize and accelerate the goal of the fifth fundamental plan. And it explicitly positions municipalities to act as coordinators for regional resource circulation and support small and medium-sized enterprises, which are the backbone of our local economies. Finally, we see a strong synergy between circular economy and our national vision for Society 5.0. For instance, Japan, like many developed countries, faces challenges of labor shortage, and in an aging society, Society 5.0 technologies offer solutions. Robotics can automate the physically demanding task of dismantling and sorting waste, improving both efficiency and the working environment. And also digital technology can optimize waste collection routes. Furthermore, increasing traceability and information sharing is also important. We face several challenges, like for example, for customers, lack of traceability can lead to concerns about the safety of recycled products. And for businesses, recyclers often don't know the quality standards required by manufacturers, sometimes because it's kind of like a secret for each individual company. So by utilizing digital platform, we can build a system to collect, manage, and share this vital information efficiently without placing an extra burden on stakeholders. So we believe it's good for creating human-centered society. It is one of the fundamental ideas of Society 5.0. So in the end, basically, our vision is a society where all actors, from designers, manufacturers, recyclers, consumers, work together in coordinated system. While this is the path Japan is taking, we believe the fundamental challenges of resource management and sustainable development are shared by cities worldwide. So here we have shared our integrated approach, and I sincerely hope that these experiences can serve as a useful reference or possible reference and contribute to our collective dialogue on how to build the cleaner and more resilient cities that this forum envisions for our future. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Nakamura-san. Thank you very much for your very encouraging presentation. It is also very encouraging to see that how Japan is pursuing Society 5.0 with circular economy solutions as a national vision to achieve super smart, human-centered society in which the digital transformation and sustainability converge. And very impressive to see also that graph, specifically that slide where you are showing the economy-wide, GDP-wise, the material input, how it is going down over a period of 10 years or a decade. At the same time, you are achieving significant reduction of the waste generation, 80% of reduction of the waste that needs to be disposed of. Thank you very much. With this one, I would like to invite World Bank, Ms. Rieko, Kubota Program Officer. She would be talking about realizing tangible circular projects towards achieving resource-efficient, zero-waste, and resilient societies. World Bank approaches and initiative. Rieko, floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mohanty-san, and very good afternoon, everyone, distinguished mayors and guests and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rieko Kubota. I'm a program officer at the Tokyo Development Learning Center, which is part of the urban DRM, Resilience and Land Global Practice of the World Bank. We are very happy to be here to present to you the World Bank's approach and initiatives in how to tackle triple challenges of solid waste, plastic, pollution, and urban flood risk. So I think our dear peer presenters have already discussed about the global challenges of increasing volume of waste. So I'm not going to repeat that. But as some of you may know already, that the World Bank is producing a flagship report called Water Waste Series. You might have seen it somewhere, which is a data repository where discussing about the future scenario of the waste management in the global community. And in that report, that says that 50% more waste is expected to generate by 2050 compared to 2022. So with that, under the business as usual scenario, the situation is likely to worsen significantly over time. We will have to really make an action now, otherwise that the large and growing volumes of waste will pose a significant challenge for local governments, which is delivering that waste management services, waste collection, and landfill management, so on and forth, and it would impact your economy, public finances, health, and environment, as our peer presenters have already discussed. So the first issue that I would like to highlight is the interplay between waste and plastic pollution. I think this photo may be something that you may see in your city sometimes as well, that according to our study, that estimated 80% of plastic in marine environment, which arrives in the ocean, comes from leakage from the countries with inadequate waste management systems. So that means that when you don't have enough waste management system, waste collection service in your city area, and of course in the rural areas as well, without waste management infrastructure, and also the people behaves with illegal dumping and scattering practices, then all the plastic waste goes into the ocean that's nearby your country. This is a conceptual framework that the World Bank has created a few years ago based on that study we did in Indonesia and in other Southeast Asian countries to identify which are the hot spots in land area where we generate the marine plastic waste. We identified there are several hot spots that comes from that direct disposal in water by the people, and also illegal dumping practices that happens on the land area, and the wind blown to deliver the waste into that urban water environment. We also identified there is a fly tipping issue, and also the leakages from unsanitary landfills, which has less of a good practice in covering and also sealing the waste not to be swept away by wind and water to that water environment. This is again another study we did in Prem Pachakon Canal in Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand. We identified that 20% of the leaked waste in the urban water environment is plastic waste. So this is how much of the waste that goes into that water environment in urban areas. Another issue that I want to highlight is, as our peer presenter from Kuching South City has already discussed, that waste is actually going to impact the urban flood risk. Because of an urban runoff, and also that a significant amount of the waste is generated, and also that the population increase, that would overwhelm the local service delivery, which would enable the local government to be able to collect all that waste from the city area. That results in the clogged drains, and also that waste accumulates in the urban water environment, which increases that urban flood risk significantly and causes that public health issue as well. So what is a local solution to waste, plastic, and urban flood, the nexus challenges? We at the World Bank think that the waste collection service improvement is one of the significant solutions that we can deliver and work with the city. We see that effective waste collection from both households and public area is key in preventing waste enters waterways by littering and scattering. We also think that it is very important to strategize waste collection by targeting high-risk areas like waterways and coastal lines, not targeting every single part of the city. Reliable waste collection system with good collection planning and education to waste collectors lead to decrease in waste leakage. Last but not least, but we think that awareness raising to residents to properly seal waste bag. So not leaving the waste bag open, but to properly sealing it is a very small but impactful way to mitigate the unintentional waste scattering. I would like to share that one World Bank project that is taking place in Benin project currently that addresses all that urban flood risk, waste management, and plastic pollution agenda in one project. We have constructed and rehabilitated of drainage networks in Cotonou City, which is the capital of Benin. We also use a result-based financing to expand waste collection coverage, also to improve the service delivery and promote community-based waste management enterprises in Cotonou City for the citizens to be able to participate in the waste service improvement themselves and to work with the local government closely. We also implement awareness raising about the impacts of improper waste disposal because it was very clear that the residents were not aware of the impact that it would make by doing the improper and illegal dumping. We also implemented the digital tools development and introduced our early warning system so that the residents are aware when the urban flood is risking in the city and they can take that action immediately after they are aware of that urban flood. We also promoted a sustainable operation and the maintenance of that urban infrastructure, including drainage. The drainage will not be able to cater all the water, the runoff that comes into the drainage without proper operation and maintenance. The residents also help in cleaning up the drainage regularly so that the residents also be able to leverage that infrastructure for a longer term. So the World Bank is, of course, investing in the infrastructure in every part of the world in our client countries, but we also promote ourselves as a knowledge bank. We do carry out a lot of researches and studies to generate the data that helps that city leaders and that all the practitioners to use as an evidence-based data for your policy making. You'll be able to access many more of the research outcomes that we have conducted at the World Bank related to the waste, plastic, and urban flood in the QR code here, and you can access to that different case studies at the local environment where we conducted a lot of studies. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Rieko. To be very much in the time. Thank you so much for sharing various World Bank models, initiative tools, including the early warning systems. And your presentation and pictures actually force us to ask ourselves some questions, whether we can go ahead expanding our recycling industries, keep on generating waste, or at the first end, we reduce the waste so that to reduce the pressure on the local municipalities and the local governments who are operating actually in a very low municipal budget. Waste and disasters nexus. The drainage are being clogged in many cities, and that actually has paralyzed many urban lives we can find predominantly in Asia and Africa. And I think that we need to also think of. With this one, I would like to invite our last presentation. Is about funding. At the end of the day, we need actually money to operationalize the sustainable waste management, the circular economy, where the money comes from. This is an example here, the presentation by UN Habitat, introduction of MOEJ Fund, Ministry of Environment of Japan, Fund for Project Development Facilitation for Better Waste Management in Africa. Ms. Sachiyo, Hoshino.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohanty, for the introduction. Distinguished guests, honorable mayors, governors, leaders from the government, colleagues, friends, good afternoon. I am Sachiyo Hoshino, working as Special Advisor for UN Habitat Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific. It is an honor to be with the honorable panelists, and today in session 3, I've already learned a lot and inspired very much from the presentations already done by our leaders today. My presentation title does not read circular economy, but I think I'll try to come to that later in my presentation. What I would like to introduce today is about a very new and strategic initiative supported by the Ministry of Environment of Japan, which is designed to empower and support African cities in addressing challenges in municipal solid waste management, and in particular, address one main challenge, as Mr. Mohanty already said. In addition to all that has been explained by the panelists, it is finance. How to access to bankable projects and funds. Okay. This is about the current state of waste management in Africa, which I don't think I will need to explain in details because it has been explained also in Kubota-san's earlier presentations. But not to repeat, I would like to also add that we now know that from 8 to 10% of the greenhouse gas emissions generated in cities can come from open dump sites of untreated waste. Cities are experiencing many disasters around dump sites, such as open fires, gas explosions, collapse, landslides, and which have killed and affected many people and communities living around the dump sites, which Mayor of South Kuching had already explained as the waste mountain growing bigger and bigger. The uncollected waste, as Kubota-san and also Mr. Mohanty just addressed, they're clogging the drains and becoming causes of floods. I myself have worked on projects in Africa and Asian cities to improve these situations for many years. But I must say the issues are expanding and they're very difficult to solve. This is due to urbanization of waste, population increase, cities expanding, changes of our lifestyles, climate change, among others. Allow me to introduce our ongoing activities first. In response to these growing issues in Africa, the African Clean Cities Platform, or ACCP in short, was established in 2017. It is a platform of African cities for knowledge sharing through training and learning tools, achieving the waste-related SDG goals through monitoring and development of monitoring tools, and to support cities on project development. We currently have 226 very committed member states across 47 countries in Africa, and is run by a steering committee members who are the Ministry of Environment Japan, JICA, City of Yokohama, UNEP, and us, UN Habitat, as the Secretariat. If among the African cities participating today, if you're not a member yet, I think this is the time to let me know later, please. Thank you very much. And the initiative, this ACCP, is run by, funded by Ministry of Environment Japan. Thanks to Mr. Nakamura here. We also have associate members, including the World Bank. It's a new associate member in Kubota-san, which we all coordinate very closely on a daily basis. So just to illustrate the issues, this will be quite familiar to many of your cities. It is improper waste disposal, mismanagement of waste, lack of waste segregation, insufficient collection and transportation, and not enough recycling and reprocessing systems in place. The realization of circular economy comes after here, we believe, maybe on the 5th photo. And aiming a circular economy has always been a key objective and goal of the ACCT activities and the trainings that we had. But we are also aware that many cities are at the state of still struggling with these 4 issues lined up here. And what we realize that we need to improve these situations first. Okay?
You can drop off.
Yeah. And thank you. And why the cities are struggling? We understand there are multiple reasons, but the core challenge as we identified from our experience and also from the number of surveys that we have conducted to our member cities. It can be narrowed down to these two issues. The first one is low priority on waste management in the government agenda at both national and local levels. And the second is limited institutional capacity to navigate complex paths toward funding mobilization. Supporting project development for member cities has been one of the core activity areas for ACCP. But unfortunately, this has proven to be very difficult. Yes, Africa has received funds from international development agencies and donors, but only 5% went to the waste sector in the past 20 years. And the new fund that I am going to talk about was established to solve this and create an opening and opportunities here. The fund's objective is to accelerate capital mobilization for improved waste management in Africa cities by developing investment pathways. What the project will do for the period of next 3 years is to work with development partners such as the World Bank or the African Development Bank or the Islamic Development Bank, others, JICA and others, to conduct feasibility studies in selected cities in Africa based on the priorities or finance plans of these partners, so that the results of the feasibility studies will become investment-ready packages for the projects ahead. Now, each development partners will have different, excuse me, let me skip this one. Oops.
Kindly summarize.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. I may have deleted one slide. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me reiterate. Every development partners, every donors will have different priority areas. We understand that. They have different criteria, different requirements, and also very different formats. But by conducting these feasibility studies, the selected countries and cities will better understand the donor requirement and what is needed in the decision-making process, which will enable greater priority alignment and reduced investment risk. In other words, the African cities can translate their issues and needed area for support in the context of donor format and donor priorities. Unfortunately, we will not be able to offer feasibility study opportunities for all of our ACC member cities, but by ensuring transparency in this work and sharing the experience for each steps of the process, the member cities can also benefit from better understanding donor requirements and priorities, hopefully leading to project and finance opportunities. And on a longer term, we hope to accelerate investment for waste management improvement, elevate importance and priority of waste management in national local agendas, and strengthen our partners and stakeholders at both national and city levels. This will lead to long-term goals of improved public safety and health, reduced risks and pollution, and really accelerate a shift toward green and circular economy. This would be the end of my presentation slide. I'm sorry, the slides were not organized as I planned. But as I explained, this is a very new initiative. And the first feasibility study is yet to start. We haven't started yet. And we look forward to working with as many cities as possible and a diverse range of development partners and donor agencies, many technical experts, institutions, university, academia, and also civil society. And while this fund is currently designed for African cities, we also hope that going forward, we are able to share and replicate to other regions in the world, as there should be many, many learning opportunities along the way that we can share. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for introducing the MOEJ fund. Can I now request the Secretariat to please put the questions that we are supposed to discuss? The secretary, anybody is from the secretary? From the one slide which has all these 8 questions. Oh, okay, good. So actually we don't have time to discuss. Let me start with the question number 8, the last one. Of course, then if time is there, we can actually gradually go up. This is for everybody. I think it's like a very quick intervention, maximum 1 minute each. This is regarding if you could suggest one priority action to a city mayor to accelerate transition to circularity, what would it be? I will start with UNEP, World Bank, Habitat, and MOEJ4. World Bank, 1 minute maximum you have.
Thank you so much. I didn't expect that I will get that first speaker slot to answer this question. So in one word, I think it's partnership. I think it was also mentioned by the mayor of the Kuching South City that the partnership multiplies the success, right? And in the World Bank projects on waste management, I have also witnessed that the partnership among the public sector, private sector, citizens, academic, and international development partners like us is really working well. And it takes time. It takes time to really see the effects of seeing that recycling rate raising and to see a lot of waste coming and collected at infrastructure. That takes time. But I think it's really a key ingredient of success on waste management. And I just want to introduce this one policy tool called Extended Producers Responsibility Scheme, which is used very significantly on plastic waste stream and textile and so forth.
Thank you.
In a different world, but this is something that I wanted to say.
We got the partnership and extended EPR. I think very good.
Yes, thank you.
So go to UNEP. UNEP IETC, Mr. Felipe.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Church. So I'm glad to be here, and I am from UNEP IETC. UNEP IETC is the UNEP's agency focused on waste management. We are based here, close in Osaka. So one priority action specifically for developing countries and cities struggling with waste collection would be waste segregation or separated waste disposal. Because we hear here many mayors and many of my colleagues in World Bank and Habitat saying that waste valorization is the key to tackle the waste management issues. So you cannot address your waste management issue if you continue collecting a single stream. So waste segregation and separated waste collection would be my priority action.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well taken. So waste segregation towards waste the value capture and the valorization. Habitat, just 1 minute, very quick intervention.
Yes. I prepared a very short answer for
very
this.
Very good.
Okay. My suggestion would be to invest in the youth, work with startups, young NGOs, start very small, experiment, try and errors, Kaizen, we're in Toyota City, remember, and scale up along the way. Thank you.
Ministry of Environment, the government of Japan.
Thank you. Okay, I also will be very brief, maybe, okay, but it will be just personal opinion because, mayors know more, basically. Mayors are the front line. So only thing I can say is that I also bought to the partnership itself, and mayor can be a catalyst, but one thing I can add is that the important thing for me is that to find out the main challenges of your city, because as we see, circular economy has many positive effects, like job creation, waste management improvement, or like the decarbonization also. But so if we are going too diverse to find out the coalition to create, then it will be more rather very too broad to find out to concentrate the problems to be focused on. So I believe that the important thing is to find out the main challenges for your cities in relation to the circular economy to create the focused coalition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So integration of circular economy in urban policy planning and infrastructure development. Thank you. Well taken. So let me turn to our mayors, honorable mayors. Let me ask you the question number 6. In fact, we didn't address in any of the presentation, the lifestyle, which is extremely important. We have talked about the single-use plastics, phasing out of single-use of plastic, for example, by Kuching. But how can you achieve so if the citizens do not cooperate? If we do not bring fundamental changes in our lifestyles, how can we achieve the circularity? So what strategies have you found effective in engaging your citizens to embrace circular lifestyles and responsible consumption? Honorable Mayor from Kigali.
Thank you very much. I think it's about education. I think cultural change requires engagement, requires discussing with the people, but also creating incentives. I talked about how we establish some equipment in our most congested areas to make sure that if you deposit a plastic bottle, you can get something, money, incentive for basically. But also making sure that the vulnerable categories are also employed in this sector. Lastly is about working in partnership with private sector, especially the manufacturing, making sure they can make good use of the waste that is produced. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Over to Kuching, Honorable Mayor.
Yeah, I think it's quite simple. First thing is you must have your government will, and then community engagement, and of course, then you talk about your management side. But to me is you must always have option, for people to comply with. It cannot be just one-way street. So that's why, government will is important. But to all city council, I think basic thing is we must do the right thing, not doing things that make you popular. A lot of things like such will not make you popular, but you must always carry the flagship that do the right thing for the people and for your country.
Thank you so much. We have listened a lot about resilience from the morning. So the question number 5 is, how can circularity help cities build resilience against resource scarcity and the global supply chain disruptions? Let me turn to UNEP to very quickly address. I think all the interventions, please limit to 1 minute.
2 dimensions, Mr. Speaker. One is economic resilience and energy security. So by promoting circular economy, you are making sure that you have your own supply with the materials that you have in your city or your country. So you are less reliant and with less sensitive to external disruption, to geopolitical tensions, to economic cycles, etc. So one is material-wise. You can have your supply attended by your secondary supply of materials by recycling, by repurpose, refurbish. The second dimension is the social dimension. By creating circular economy, you create jobs, so you improve your social resilience, you improve the community thriving and the wellness of people by having more job, more materials for more economic activities, by bringing people out of informality, by having less food waste, and by tackling anger and subnutrition as well. So these 2 material resilience and social resilience.
Thank you very much. I think it would be injustice if I do not involve the floor as well. So I have recognized the presence of some of the cities who have done significant achievement in making their cities clean through sustainable waste and circular economy solutions. I would like to pose question number 3 to the floor. Very quick intervention, 1 minute. While you are thinking, I have recognized the presence of, yes, you have raised the hand, the Indore city, which is a champion city in India in achieving the cleanliness, resource efficiency. So I would like to invite Honorable Mayor from Indore, Mr. Bhargav, to respond to the question number 3. Thank you. Very quick, sir. Just a minute.
I think the right question has been posed to the cleanest city of India. I think partnership should become the public policy. Without the public participation, nothing is possible, and as rightly said by the first speaker from the line, segregation at source is the key to success and which should become the part of the policy. Citizens' involvement, citizens' engagement, and the programs making citizens as the owner will only lead to the proper circular economy, circular action. As Indore, we are having segregation at source in 6 different parts, which in turn leads to waste to wealth and waste to art both.
Thank you so much. Actually,
Just one more point.
Yes.
That citizens should be treated as co-creators, not as the end users. The moment citizens become part of zero waste ward or a zone, it will not go to the dump yards.
It is an excellent proposition. The citizens should not be the end users. They should be rather treated as co-creators. I think wonderful suggestions. Actually, more or less, the questions, most of the questions are addressed through the presentations. I would like to check with any of the panelists if you like to address any of the questions very quickly. No? Oh, very quickly, 1 minute.
One warning for local authorities. If you are thinking in addressing waste management challenges in your city by expanding your waste collection, sorry to say, but you will fail. You need to work on community engagement, and you need to work on waste reduction, waste minimization, and waste valorization. We hear here the example of Kuching, the examples of Kigali. They talked about community engagement and waste reduction, waste recycling efforts. So just having more trucks for waste collection, more landfills, more waste incineration will not solve your waste management issues.
I know, Taiko-san, you are ready to announce for the next session, but I would like to borrow a few minutes because we started 7-8 minutes late because of this wonderful stage arrangement having large number of speakers. So let me summarize quickly the takeaways from this session. Few takeaways. I have summarized 4 key takeaways for this session. Integration of circular economy into urban policy planning and infrastructure development is essential with an objective to achieve 3R, reduce, reuse, recycle, waste minimization, and nature and ecosystem restoration and regeneration. This is because I was asking in the very beginning a question, does a city have future without biodiversity? The second key takeaway, the multi-stakeholder partnerships and capacity building are critical in achieving the cleaner cities. Circular economy is inherently a multi-stakeholder partnership. I think many of the presentations that we listened today, almost all presentations, including the panel intervention, they were emphasizing on the need for multi-stakeholder the partnership, local government, national government, private sectors, civil society, informal sector, and including the donor communities, the development partners, and the international organization. The third key takeaway is policy, regulatory, and financial barriers remain a major challenge for many of the cities, but also they provide opportunity. New innovative financing mechanisms are needed in the face of weak public investment and large demand for technological intervention. Circular economy needs intervention of frontier technologies. We didn't discuss much in this session, the artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain technology, etc., in the context of advancing the circular economy. The last point is resource efficiency and sustainable waste management yield benefits beyond environmental outcomes, such as the public health benefits, job creation, and economic savings via more efficient resource use. See, for example, the case of the Japanese presentation made by Ministry of Environment, the Society 5.0. I was talking about the GDP-wise, economy-wide reduction, systematic reduction of the material input, and also 80% reduction in the waste generation to handle. So that indirectly saving tremendous amount of resources. It is an inbuilt resource regeneration mechanisms to sustain or advance the circular economy. And with this one, we will conclude the session. I'm sorry, my apology for the secretariat. We just crossed 3 minutes. I think we didn't do very bad. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mohanty-san, and thank you very much the honorable mayors and the other speakers and colleagues.